And good morning, Minecraft. This is Mr. Kassarian, and welcome back to another episode of my Let's Play series. So everything looks right, okay? Everything looks the same. I had a fairly bad crash when I was getting ready to record this episode, and it just took me about an hour of mucking around with my save file to actually get it to work properly. It was such a bad game-destroying crash that it actually managed to delete my... The world wouldn't even show up properly in the loading screen, so it was bad. I have a backup from like 10 days ago that I copied over the world and region, the dimension and region files, and that brought all my stuff back. But the big problem is armor. So what I'm going to do is, with you guys on camera, I am actually going to refund my power armor. Just like that. Okay. And because remember, all the items that I spent are still gone, right? So let me get, what was it, a force field? Some force field emitters. And HV capacitor. Alright, so let's install that. Tier 2. What did I say? 5 kilograms? That's what I set it to. And then I had energy shielding, which I had jacked up all the way. And then I had two of these, right? And it was legs. And I think boots had them on. Yeah, and I jacked that all the way up. Okay. And then I needed some servos. And some wool. I just want to show you guys me doing this because I want you to know that, I'm not doing anything weird. Alright. So I had jump assist. Right. I had a sprint assist module. Okay. And then I also had a shock absorption module. And I just need to get this charged, and I will bring you guys back in once that's done. I'm going to turn this off, and I'll be right back. And we're back, guys. So, my armor's still charging. It's going to take a little while. But in the meantime, let's craft some stuff. So the first thing we're going to craft is an item from forestry, and it uses this biofuel stuff that we've been making. It's called a biogas engine, and it's pretty cool, in my opinion at least. The next thing we're going to craft is a compression dynamo from thermal expansion. And it just takes some tin, conduit. Oh, nope, transmission conduit's up top. And forget it, okay. Drop that in there. And let's get ourselves a 4 compression dynamos. Awesome. Now the last thing we need is something kind of cool, in my opinion. It's called the still, and it can convert our biogas into biofuel. And of course I did the recipe wrong. So let's just shift click it in from NEI. A still, please. Thank you very much. Let's get one of those. Alright, and that should be all we need, I think. I hope. Let's get a bucket, because we need a bucket of lava, too. So let's take care of that. Let's get some impulse, some regular item ducts. Do I have any fluid ducts laying around? They're not in there. They should have wound up in here somewhere. Fluid ducts. Awesome. Alright, so let us go out to our quarry. And I'll bring you guys back in when I get there. By the by, while I'm running here, one of the things I forgot to mention last episode about power armor is that its energy actually transfers into the IC2 items you're carrying. So, just wanted to let you guys know that. Alright, and we are back out at the quarry. So now if you notice, we are still... Ooh, I forgot something. Do I have any... Yes, I can get a servo out. Okay. So I've run just this little system over here from the liquid unloader. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down my still first. Okay. So it still goes there. And then I'm going to put down my biogas engine. Just like that. I'm going to actually need a second one of those servos. But remember that these biogas engines need to heat up. The way they work is by heating up and then providing power. So to make sure it heats, we're just going to put a bucket of lava in there. Okay. Now we don't have any biomass yet, which should be showing up on the train whenever it decides to come back up to me. But once we do, we should get biomass flowing up into here. And let me actually just get this servo out right now and install this thing back here. As to what caused that crash from earlier, by the way, servo installed, ignored. Oh, that's cool. Hadn't realized that. All right. So that can go. Let's get this all filled up. Like so. Hopefully we'll get a train at some point. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have this come out the top. And now you may have noticed earlier I have these tanks from open blocks. Pretty simple. Some glass panes and some obsidian. Gets you 2 of them. So what we're going to do, and I have 8, so let's go. Now, one thing to remember about these is that it is important. Oops. Not what I want to do. It is important to remember that you have to be a little careful about the side facing on these, because you can't... If I pulled out of this top block, I could not access anything in the bottom here. So you have to be a little bit careful about what exactly you're doing with this. Alright. So now that that's done, we're going to come out from there, right? I'm going to need another servo, please. We're going to come over. And oh. And now here, we can put our compression dynamos. Which I believe can actually run on biofuel. Let me check that. It's actually ethanol nowadays. Yep, 500,000 redstone flux. Okay. There we go. Compression dynamos in place. Now, one of the things about... Ah, here we go. Okay, why are you still triggered? No. Alright, let me figure this out and I'll drag you guys back in. So the last thing we need is water. Okay? To cool the thing off. Now I'm hoping that this should be enough, but if not, we have other things we can do. Now the last thing I want to do is I want to get one more lever. And I don't know why this wasn't working. There was a phantom redstone signal from somewhere over here, and I'm not certain why. So, yeah. That's my override. Alright, so let's see if we got that lever yet. There it is. And now we can turn on this thing. Now it's going to heat up, as you can see. And then now it's going to start running. And what it's going to do is it's going to start producing biofuel. And do I not have a servo in there? I don't think I do. Servo must be installed for control. Don't know the servo in here. Yes, I do. Ka-chunk. Ka-chunk. Alright, ignored. Flip you around. And let's get you turned around too. Ignored. Now these guys all just turned on because they want to store up the energy that they have. Alright? So why don't we go back to the base and actually let me get some... I can pull this together right here actually. If I just get my remote orderer and get some... Ooh. I have 13 of these. I have some more in my base actually because I remembered I was cooking some up last episode. Now, I'm not going to bother with energy storage on these guys, okay? There's just, I don't know, I don't see any real point to it. Alright, there we go. And this guy's going to run a little bit. Alright. Oops, don't throw the sword away. So let's go back to our home base and let's make one more item. Alright, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to upgrade all of these 7 gears into iron gears, okay? Then we're going to need 4 gold gears. And 2 of those are going to have to become diamond gears. Expensive, I know. Now let's get a pair of sticks. If you'd be so kind, computer. Thank you very much. And let's just put those sticks in right there. And some diamonds across the top to get ourselves a diamond pick. And now we can paste this in and pull out our quarry. I approve. Now the quarry is an interesting device, and I'm going to need 3. So let me get... Do I want to do it this way? Yeah, I want to do it this way. So let me get 3 sticks. And let me get a wee bit of redstone. I already have a wee bit of redstone, but let's get a little bit more. And some of that, and while we're waiting, we might as well clean our inventory a little. Much better. Alright, so let's take our 3 sticks. So we get that. And now if we put some lapis on top, we get these things called landmarks, which are from Buildcraft. Let's get that stick, and let's turn it into a lever, because I'm going to show you a cool trick. So let's get that, and let me get 2 more cobble. And let me rejoin you back at the quarry site. So what we can do now is we can take our landmark and our lever. And I'm just going to put the landmark down right here. Now if I put a lever next to it, you see these lines coming out? These actually show the quarry's range. And actually, think I managed to forget exactly how big one of these quarries gets. So let's actually put it up a ways. Which is why I actually grabbed some extra cobblestone. Let me show you something, by the way. If you want to change how your power armor works, you can bind it. Backslash, thank you. So I can actually now turn off my jump assist. Alright, so we'll put that there. Because sometimes if you excavate the whole zone, it's kind of a pain in the rear end. Alright. Now I can turn that back on. Quite a nice range, huh? Yeah, I know. It's great. Alright, so now we're just going to put another landmark on this side. Alright? And now we're going to go to the other side of that quarry line. That is a gigantic blueberry bush. Alright, so that's over here, right? Let's just see how deep into this mountain it actually goes. Here we go, right here. Ooh, is this a ravine? It is. So we're right here. So we'll put a landmark here. And notice how it doesn't matter what orientation they're in when you actually put them down. And you just need 3, because all you're doing is you're defining a rectangle. Now this happens to be a cubic a square, rather than, you know, so the other builds I've done. Oh, son of a beach ball. So let's turn this off, and let's right-click so this red line forms. And, seriously. There we go. Let's pull the lever off, and all we're going to do is we're going to put down the quarry in its place. Made the anvil sound, and it's going to keep these chunks loaded. Now, the quarry is kind of cool because it actually keeps itself, and it's the chunks that it impinges on, loaded. Remember, by the way, to run around and pick up your landmarks. It keeps itself and the chunks it's in loaded at all times. So you don't need a separate set of chunk loaders, you just need one actual quarry out there. So now all that remains is to hook up power and to hook up item transport. And pretty much all I'm going to do is just hook that up, which you've seen before. And I'll bring you guys back in once this thing's actually running. Alright, and we're finally ready to turn this thing on, and I almost have to go to class now. So, just a little bit more here. We'll connect this over like so. And we'll just trim this. Awesome. Now these things should be running. Awesome. Why aren't you running? Oh, you haven't gotten any ethanol. That would explain it. Well then. But this thing is in fact running. I'm just not certain if it can quite keep up. I may add a second biogas engine onto it. But you can see over there that our little robot is starting to clean up the surrounding terrain. Once he does, he'll actually start to construct the actual quarry frame that goes around it. Alright. So, it is now time for me to end the episode. I have to go to class. I want to thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Kassarian. I'm glad I finally got the stupid quarry going. I'm so glad I got the stupid quarry going. Alright, thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Kassarian. And as always, happy mining.